Hello there and welcome to my channel. It's Cave in the Nest and thank you for joining me. I am about to have a little Sunday afternoon play, and it might not be Sunday afternoon where you are, but I hope that if you're watching you have something to keep you busy. And yeah, as always, I'm really grateful. I'm turning the camera on because I've been working on some other pieces and they always spark interest in a new piece, and I have very much in mind my new collection that I'm working on to take with me to New Zealand in less than 2 weeks now. So if you saw my first video, which was about the pouch influenced by Fleur, I had also said that I wanted to make a Husswif. Now, this Husswif is a couple of years old. You can see my style is very different, but there's still so much of me in it. This one is wild and I still love her. I could easily pop her in my bag with me, but I'm not. I'm going to make a new one. So what elements has this one got that I liked? It had a soft landing for pins and needles. It had a little zipper case to take threads or scissors or whatever, and it had a needle threader, which is more and more what I need, and a little pocket out of crochet. So, oh, and that's right, I put on here, I'd forgotten this tiny little, in fact I might just harvest that in a minute, because that was in something else. In fact, I've moved my camera. I just better make sure that you can see me. Yeah, hopefully this is better. It was it was receding into the distance. So, and I do love, you may not, but I love that fringe down there. I haven't got any more of that blanket left, but gee, it was fun. And the Indian braid I've got plenty of, but I don't know where we'll end up. So what have I got so far? I know that if I'm going to take this on the plane with me, I want to take my little travel snips. I bought these from Zoe at Green Door, and they have made it even, I think they made it to the US without being confiscated. And if not, I have my thread cutter. So I have two alternatives. As I said, I have, and I'll put a needle threader, and then I like to take some pins, and I must take multiple needles because I lose them, and I have to always check the floor of wherever I travel. So they're the essentials that need to go in my Husswif, plus, because when we're actually on the plane, we limit, well, I've learned to limit myself to not every thread that I like taking. I meant to bring down my other little Chennai collection one, but basically some natural thread. I wouldn't take that one because it's a bit bulky. I'll take a Gutermann, and then a couple of key colors that I would might be using. There they are in their typical form. Okay, so it doesn't need a lot of things inside, but for me the joy is the feel of it and the magic of opening. Like when you see that, for me it's about the whole experience, and certainly holding it in your hand. So far I have I've played with two things, and this will be the start. This may not be the famous one, the final one. I don't know why I said that. But I do like I'm going from the squishiness in my hands point of view. So I came across this piece of quilting, originally from Beck at So Be Curated as part of the Quilter's Workbook. Those pieces were so big that I've made multiple pieces out of the packs that I bought from her. And I like this one because it's a star. And I also have this beautiful piece of vintage quilt. And I have, because I had my sewing machine out, I just put that one and that one together. I didn't measure them, but they seem to be virtually the same width. And I thought the possibility here is I've got quilt and I've got quilt. This is padded, wearing out, and this is padded. So on the inside, this piece is already backed, and this piece provides all sorts of opportunities because this is the original backing of the quilting, and it's soft and puffy. In terms of shape, I thought I could easily roll it up and it becomes like a, like this. Perhaps skinnier, longer and skinnier, which is probably not what I exactly wanted. But because of the placement of the star, I could actually trim that side. Would that make a big difference? That 1/4 of an inch to make it symmetrical and get rid of that. Yeah, let's do that. It's just this binding on here so that the colour goes to the edge. I think we'll do that. And remember, it's already been edited by others. And that makes that a bit more even. So that feels more in proportion. Can't remember how I had it. Like that. Yep. So symmetrical now. And I can shave a little bit off this side. Okay. So things I'm liking is this is already backed, so I can put pieces onto here without having to worry about covering it all over, and indeed celebrating that piece. This, as I said, I love how soft it is, but it's very white. So I have been through my little snippet basket, and I have, you'll have seen these if you've watched my mini makes. I have 2 pieces underway, and I've got another one as well. I've got 3 of these, but I was thinking something like that. So for me, it's the decoration first, of course, before we get to the practicalities, because it's going to be quite easy to put bits in, I'm thinking. I also have, I've got a leftover piece of this if I wanted to feature. I'll show you what other things I've gathered around. I'm using this on the pouch, and it's padded and yummy. I've got this sort of scrap, again, that's from something else, but I quite like the juxtaposition of those stripes, and there's a little frill there, and I want to cover up this seam, so let's just, so really this is Kate in her playground, and certainly not a traditional way to make a Husswif, but any excuse for making and for sharing and having your company. So I've got something like that. I have, you know how much I love my chenille, so a few bits of that around. Some pretty, what's this off? Something that I've This is a nice warm blanket colour that could easily make a little... I have been looking at people who make little tiny needlebooks that actually close. So let's just make this into a more... So this really is like Kate in the useful box. Those of you who know play school, I feel like I'm totally just having a little play. Look at that nice little edge there. And I've got those flowers that were just sitting there. So we might try for a little needle book. Let's just prop that on there as an idea. Don't like that little edge there. It's like someone bit it. So we'll just go up shorter. Oh. So if it's the weekend where you are, what have you been up to? I shared the other day that it's the long weekend here in Australia. Lots of families go away. It's been a very hot day but a storm is coming over. So who knows what will happen. So I've got something a little like that. I've got my cupcake pin cushion here. Got another one here. Just wondering if I squish that, it would save me making one. It probably would, you know. So open out. So open, open, open. Oh, pretty. Maybe we need something up there. Useful. Here. Or maybe that could go up there. Because I suppose if I can save opening the whole thing up, that would be quite useful. I feel I've got a tiny bit too much stuffing in there. I'm sure we can make that work so that becomes part of the garden there. This will become a little frill. Maybe, yeah, maybe it could be up there. Needle book. Now I better just check because this is quite long, isn't it? Oh yeah, you can see. I've also got some scrap. It's not scrap, it's off the piece Missy gave me. Oh, that would be, some of that would be very pretty. It's going with my green for New Zealand colour scheme. What am I thinking I could make? I've learnt the hard way about things falling out. I wonder if I could make a little purse out of there. I've got this pocket that you will have seen me make before. That was a utility pocket with little bits. Okay, speaking of little bits, where are the scissors going to live? Because we could always tie them onto something. I'm going to cut along this line. So you see that beautiful contrasted green. I'm liking those stripes. Going to lay that down and think about it. Oh yeah, I found this too. This was very practical. That little swan needlebook that I took on a trip, and I just open it like that, which is what I was thinking about that. She's too bright, but I don't mind that. Okay, back to business. We need, or maybe I can make this a little utility belt. The only trouble is that they fall out when I wrap. See, like that. If I put it down the side, something like that, and something in there, and divide it. Oh yes, that's gone over too far. Oh yeah, and that's a problem with that. Where did I think I would? I've forgotten, everyone. Was it there? And there? And then down, yeah. So I see half. So if you help me remember, it's sort of there. So I can have things flat under here. Okay, so maybe we better have a think about yep. So that could go there. It's a long piece. I just don't feel like cutting it at the moment. So we're designing away. That could be the little cupcake to there. I'm just training myself to there, to there. Okay. Green and green. I've just got to take a little bit of this out. When I stitch it down again, I can close this gap up. It's the opposite to what you usually see people do. Yeah, that's better. It still is 3D, but it's not as much. And that'll be my sign. Put that to there. That'll be my signal. All right, that's pretty. And we're going to bind these sides so they'll be soft and snuggly. Something like that. What else have I got around? It's pretty, but not quite right. I've got that. I won't use that there. I've got all these others for my hope tote, but hey, that's still left over. I haven't even thought about decorating the outside yet. It might be too long and dangly there. But I'm getting excited. All right, shall we actually put something down? Need a book. Scissors. Yep. They'll stay. Okay, take that out of there. All right. If we're making something, it's a bit like I'm hearing Kelly's voice, as I always say. We're putting something down in this style today. Let's make it show. So this is pretty plum fairy wool. Can't remember its brand, but it's very famous. So this is a real example of just having a scrappy bit on the side ready to go. So I'm just going to overstitch. Makes that side of the Husswif Now, I need to tell you that my pouch has not been all smooth sailing. I got stuck, and last night I did a bit of a chop. So when I show you, and that will have to be later this week coming up, or maybe just before I go, who knows. Yeah, it's going to look different. And it's also not as big as I wanted it. So I've got a prototype for another bigger one, but I have to see if I can find a bigger zipper. Now you will know better than me what size zippers come in. I'm determined to have a zipper in it. And as I said, because I've got my machine now set up beside me, it's going to be easier to do some things like that. Well, I'm going to try. I'm sure when I was younger, as a young girl, sewing, my mum gave me, I've told you before, I got my first little baby Elna at 14. I must have had to learn how to put a zipper in. Can't remember doing it though. Just laughing, I probably just made things where I didn't need a zipper. I can do buttonhole. Well, I used to be able to do buttonholes because I used to make shirts for my brother. So I'm just putting this scrappy bit, mini make, on just square because it's a great foundation for further collage. That's some sort of stray thread. side. So soft and beautiful to stitch on. I could do some thread painting on that little beautiful flower. I'll just go into running stitch here. Oh, that's the same colour blanket as my little mini needle book. So that was meant to be. I think, if I'm honest with you, I'm talking about my pouch again, I think I limited myself too much to the colours. I had a preset, and I'm just one of those people that I'm realising that I can't be too prescriptive with myself. Like this one is, I had, these colours don't go, but for me they're feeling much more happy colours than if I'd said I'm going to use just pink and blue, because really now I've got green and I've got yellow and everything. Okay, should I put that down? Let's do that with a different colour. Eeny meeny. No, don't feel it going as far as that. Don't think we'd see that enough. I'll save that for up there. You've seen this so many times. I don't think I knotted this. So yes, how many projects have you got on at the moment? More than one? I've been seeing that there's a series out on people organising their craft rooms. I've started watching a few, but I get so overwhelmed with how tidy they are. So this will turn into rows and rows of cantha, I think, here. But for the moment, I want to get it, one hasn't joined, get it down, and also come over to our little pocket on the side. And let's go up. Not too big, because we want to see these stitches around the corner, really. That's nice, it's becoming like a darker red as we go along. I was thinking you're going to see, sorry, I was starting to choke there. Oh, everything going at once. But I may as well turn it into stitching down as well. So back to whipping or over stitching or applique stitch, whatever you like doing. Let's turn it around. And then I'll follow. It's like going to be like quilting in the ditch. As long as I'm joining, yep. Just going until the thread runs out. I want to say thank you to Michelle, who made a lovely comment. I was going on that about, I realise that it's hard for, like, we're all different, aren't we? And sometimes I realise that this crazy stitching of mine mightn't be easy for some to understand. And thank you, Michelle, for your beautiful comment. That made me, it was sort of reassuring. So thank you. Just a reminder that I read every comment, and if I am late in reading them, my husband reads them out and he'll say, "Kate, you've got some lovely comments. I'll read this one out to you." And this is all parts of the day because he's been on holidays, so it's been very special. So thank you. I know many of you don't write because you're watching on another thing, and I thank you for also accepting that it feels like you might be talking to thin air, but please know I'm reading and listening and appreciating. Okay, so that's on there now. Enough. This is on there now enough. This would be so much fun to put some marks on, but am I getting ahead of myself? And do I need to put a little bit of something in this? I've forgotten where I decided to put that. Will that work? It will, but it should maybe come down a little bit. I like things on different levels. Yep. See, even that bit of stitching that is even puckered, I think adds interest and texture. And we'll put some lovely embellishments over that. I have this. Just going to start a snippet roll with that. A little bit. What am I thinking? Do I need a page in this needlebook? Or can I just open it up and go like this? I think I can just go like that. So this is where we get something eye-catching out. It's funny sometimes when I stand up and see the colours and they're just emerging in a way that I probably didn't expect at the beginning. But much more in a way fleur-like colours than where my pouch ended up going. And did I just throw my needle away? Oh, yeah, I did. I found fussy cut that a lot closer, but I'm not going to. And for this one, let's just do sort of seed stitch and running stitch all over the place, so the stitches blend in. I could put some lace or crochet around the edges. So this is sort of just the basics. Blanket stitch around the edge. Now that's showing through, but that doesn't matter to me, but we could easily line it, as I said, with something else if we wanted to. Just had an idea that we will get through this bit. I'm even going through the flowers. Need to put that little bit under there. It's a little bit sharp, that edge there. Seeing that's looking quite effective, I'm just actually going to add the orange into the center of this flower. Not every petal, just a few little highlighty ones. It's getting quite humid, I can feel it. Okay, there we go. Now, while I was stitching that, I looked over and I saw the remainder of this is that little scrap, and how cute would that be? Or to cut down on the bulk, how easy is this? Oh, it's lovely and soft. But look at that beautiful little edging there. So for the moment, let's just cut this to here. Or, now I like that bit as the binding coming out. The pink and the orange. And then the decision to be made is, it might be easier to just have half and half. I think it will be. So I'm just going to cut that there. We're making more little bits that we can use in other places. Like that. Oh less bulky, and if I leave that open, I could put a spare pack of needles in there. That's what we're going to do. Then we're going to have a little division here. Oh, and I want to cover up that line, don't I? I've got some candy pink that I can make a little frill out of. Under there. And then this will be where the snips go in there. Spare needles. And then I'll need a hangy dangly thing for thread. And then I've still got, well, speaking of thread, that's the next thing to have fun playing with. I need something down here to contain the threads. Oh, no. I have to remember to there. So I've actually got all that space. To do that. All right, you're probably getting sick of me rolling and rolling that up, but I'm pleased with that progress. So just to recap, we're looking at a different version of a Husswif. You can't even, oh, there it is, buried. Completely different, but the same idea, evolution, practical, fun to make. Look, honestly, it's about the fun of doing it. Could I go with that one? Could I go with my other needle books? Of course I could, but this is the joy of slow stitch. So I'm going to leave you with that picture because my sewing machine has just fallen a little over on my foot, and I'll be back at some stage, who knows when, with more updates on my travel collection to take away with us. Please take care. Thank you for watching. Bye.